Everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and it's still enrollment season for schools. They're going to be enrolling for August 2022 to the 2022-23 school year. But today is like an extra special enrollment guide because it's the first enrollment guide about Essence Prep, which is a new charter school that's going to open on the East Side in August 2022. So we have as our guest to answer our questions about Essence Prep is Jae Ricks, and her title is Chief Learning Officer and Principal at Essence Prep. So I'm so excited to get to talk to her. I encourage everybody to go to the description of the video and click on the link. That'll take you to the enrollment guide blog post. Lots of details there. Links takes you to the website, how to enroll. But this afternoon we get to have a conversation with Jae and hear from her about what the learning model will be and why everyone's so excited about Essence Prep getting started. So welcome, Jae.
Hi. Thank you for having me here today, Inga. I'm so excited about this conversation. And of course, yes, Essence Prep is coming to the east side of San Antonio, and we are super excited about everything that we have been doing thus far. So the beauty of Essence is that we are in a position now to create this very in-depth, strong, robust curriculum to provide students and families in the community on the east side with something that they haven't experienced before. And that's really what we want Essence to be. We want it to be an experience. We want it to be something that people within the community can come in and enjoy the campus. Parents and families can come in. Students are excited to be there every day. Administrators and staff, everyone is excited to be there and has a hand in student learning. And so we are pumping out, different tasks and activities and projects daily, weekly, monthly, so that when we open those doors on August 15th, we are ready to go. So we're all ecstatic about this process and about this journey.
Yeah. So I know from I've been lucky to have Akeem Brown, the founder, on Turner Off Chess before, and he talks about things like having like a strengths-based model and like asset focused, and not talking about deficits, but helping students see their strengths and their assets. So I was wondering if you could kind of comment on that, because it seems like that's a key part of the Essence Prep model.
Oh, it's a huge part. So there will be a lot of project-based learning going on at Essence Prep. And what we really want to do as part of our mission and our values is we really want to try to create those leading change agents. That is our goal. Our goal is that by the time students come into Essence Prep in kindergarten, they leave in 8th grade, they are able to cognitively think. They are able to express themselves in a way that you normally don't see youth at those ages expressing themselves. We really want them to have that sense of agency and to be able to use their voices in a way that leads to change within their community or within any space that they occupy. So a lot of those projects will be guided by the students, facilitated by the teachers, and the teachers are going to be instilling in each one of those students that, hey, let's look at your strengths. So let's look at your interests. Let's talk about then how to take those and turn them into a project that can ultimately be an asset to the community. Let's look at the problems within the community. What does it look like to address those and then make a change in that process? So that is a huge focus for us. Of course, we have to focus on the standards. We have to, work towards STAR and things like that. But in the midst of that, yes, let's talk about how we can incorporate those standards into those projects and ultimately create solutions so that we can have a better tomorrow.
Yeah. And another thing, like as I've researched about Essence Prep, I know there's going to be a big emphasis on social emotional learning. So I was thinking if you could share more about, as you guys get things planned out, for the school to open, like how do you want to help the students grow in their social emotional aspects?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of restorative practices in the classroom, family circles, family gatherings that we're going to be having every Friday. So the goal is really to tap into building those relationships with students, and in turn, also building relationships with families, making sure that our campus as a whole, it feels like a family, it feels like a community. So those social emotional skills are going to be embedded within the activities that we're doing. How do we successfully communicate with one another? It's okay to disagree, but what does that look like? What does that sound like? It's okay to say, okay, I'm angry because, or I'm sad because. Then how do we collectively work together to support each other through those emotional moments? And so those are skills that can be taught daily, consistently, regardless of what the kids are doing. And when it comes to SEL, when it comes to different projects, when it comes to asset based and strength based, all of those pieces don't have to be separate buckets. All of those can be embedded within one curriculum because it's all about the conversations that you're having. It's about the relationships that you are building. So these aren't separate entities. These are all things that should be meshed together. And when done effectively and efficiently, it works. It works.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's thank you. That I feel like those talking about the strengths based, the project based learning aspects and the social
Mhm.
emotional learning, those are really key elements of what the curriculum is like. And like I try to describe it to people,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad they can hear it from you. And if they go to like, a meeting or an info session, they can also, learn more. So I wanted to ask you about um okay, so I've been talking to Akeem even since they were in the charter application stage. And I
Mhm.
remember like last summer I was so excited when I found out that the charter got approved. And but I wanted to hear kind of about your journey. Like, how did you meet Akeem? How did you decide to come work for Essence Prep? And y'all are still hiring, right? You're hiring like
We
teachers and
are.
administrators and things like that. Yeah.
We are. So I had actually met, well, I saw Akeem virtually because through an event with no, maybe it wasn't YWLA, maybe it was Cast Tech, like
Ah.
through
Oh yeah.
that. And they
Yeah.
do the pitches where they have people come in, talk about the different, schools that they want to open. And I had remembered initially hearing him there, but it never really registered. And then we actually became connections on LinkedIn. So that was my first, view of him as far as professional. And then through networking is how we officially got connected. So that's how I came to know who he was. And then the more that we started conversing, the more that we realized just how aligned we were on education and expectations for students and families, and the importance of relationships, and the importance of really digging deep and creating or cultivating students who can think logically and critically for themselves. So ever since then, it's been fun. So it's been great.
Have you helped him learn to be a Texan? Because I know he's from New York.
Yeah, I don't know if Akeem will ever become a Texan, but he's definitely going to leave his mark in Texas for sure.
Well, I'm glad I see this as a Californian by birth, but I love living in Texas. And so I'm teasing. I'm just teasing, Akeem. It's okay. I'm just it's safe for us to hear. We love Texas now, right? So, yeah. So, well, and then let's see. I'll put this is on the website. Like teachers, people who are teaching, but maybe they're excited about the mission of Essence Prep and want to apply. Like that's how they can find out more about the job openings, right?
Yeah, they can go to the website, essenceprepsa.org, that's visible. They can send me an email at jricks, R-I-C-K-S, at essenceprepsa.org and reach out to me if they are interested. We are hiring teachers K through 2, 4 through 5, English, language arts, math, science, social studies. I'm sorry, I have my 5-year-old in the background and the dog. um, but yeah, just go ahead and go to the website, contact me, and we can have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think I've talked to teachers who've been like founding faculty members at school, and it's a unique opportunity to kind of leave your mark. And I think one thing I see about like charter schools, or and choice schools and things like that, as opposed to like sometimes neighborhood public schools are trying to serve everyone who comes in the door. And I think there's a strength that comes from having a clear mission and vision and a really articulated set of values and a team that's dedicated to that and is working together towards that goal. And so that's what, like, I would encourage, people in education to, look into working at a charter school, because you can be, especially if you're part of that founding team, it's like it's an extra responsibility, but there's a huge opportunity.
Right. I totally agree. And just listening to Akeem talk about his journey of putting together and planning this campus, this beautiful campus, he explained that yes, it was hard, it was challenging, it was difficult. However, there were roughly 490 parents that assisted him through this process. And so the community and the families have been embedded within this plan from day one, which is a beautiful thing. And as a result of that, the parents were actually the ones who created our core values, our RISE values. And so for those of you watching, RISE is an acronym, and it stands for responsibility, intellectual investment, service, and excellence. And these four things are really what's going to ground our campus and our students. And this is something that wasn't designed to just look pretty on the website or to just be displayed around the campus. These are the values that everyone that steps into that campus is expected to live on a daily basis. So those are also going to be embedded within our curriculum. What does it look like and sound like to be responsible as a student, as a teacher, as a custodian, as a cafeteria worker? What does it look like when we're seeing that we are investing in our students and our staff intellectually, into our administration? What does it look like to provide service? Our teachers are providing service to our students. Our teachers are providing service to our community. Our school is providing a service to our community. So what does that mean? How are students going to play a role in that? How are, the drivers going to play a role in that? And then this concept of excellence. Our school is definitely one of those who is going to have those high expectations consistently, and because we know that our students are going to be able to rise to those expectations. So those are the values that we are definitely going to be sticking to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to ask kind of some, like, nuts and bolts questions that I think parents are going to want to know. So, I think that, okay, like which grade levels are going to be served at the beginning, and then also, what are some of the partnerships that Essence Prep will have? You mentioned transportation, right? There's going to be bus drivers, there's transportation, meals, health clinics, stuff like that. And this is in the blog post too. So if anybody is like, "Whoa, too much information," it's like, go to the blog post. But I wanted to hear your perspective, Jay.
Okay, yeah. So one of the partnerships that we are looking forward to having is with Pre-K for SA. So of course, Pre-K for SA is going to take care of the transportation. So if there are any students that need to be bused there or back, they'll be able to handle that situation. As far as transportation specifically for our campus, we are going to be putting out RFQs. So the request for coverage for that, our director of operations is currently in the process of ironing out the details for that piece of it. And then, I'm sorry, what was the other question?
Let's see, about meals or like health clinic, bibliotech,
Oh,
things like
yeah.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
so we will be, of course, offering healthy meals for students. So we're still in the works with our director of operations for partnering with that piece. We are going to have a bibliotech, which is like an electronic library on our campus that will also serve as a space for the community to be able to utilize. So it will play dual roles. And then as far as the health clinic, the same way, we'll have a health clinic on our campus that will allow us to be able to, of course, support students and staff if they may become ill or need that additional support. Then we'll also double that where the community will be able to come in and utilize those services as well. So one of the huge things that we really want to drive home through Essence Prep is just how embedded within the community we want our campus to be. Because yes, you have different events where you may have, different events that go on, your PTO nights or PTA nights and different things like that. But Essence Prep is going to, there's parts that are going to be open consistently that will allow, in a sense, the outside to come in, so that we're continuing to build those relationships with our community.
Yeah. And no, that's great. I feel like that those, like, the call outs to those partnerships, I think it helps people understand that, just what a commitment there is in having Essence Prep being rooted in the community, and not just serving, the particular scholars or their families that are enrolled at the school, but like, serving the neighborhood, and, lifting up the East Side. Because I know from talking to Akeem, like he has a deep understanding about things like housing and transportation, economic development,
Yes.
and education, how it's part of the pillars of, building that neighborhood strength.
Mhm. I agree. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to make sure that we're forming those partnerships. And even with those partnerships, we want to hear the community's voice. We want to hear our parents' voice, our students' voice, and be willing. And we're all open to accepting, um, that criticism, or that feedback, positive criticism, but feedback as well, because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes, we have a bird's eye view from our role and where we're sitting. And so when we're able to get that feedback and hear those outside voices, and what about this? Or you did this, but you forgot about this. Those are the only those are the things that are going to help us to grow and to get better and to evolve, because Essence Prep is planning on being here for a very long time. And the only way to do that is if we come together collectively, so that we can grow and get better as each year passes.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to ask about, let's see. Oh, okay. So I guess kind of two questions, and then we'll, make sure people know how to apply, how to find more information.
Okay.
So and one question is about, kind of school culture, and like you mentioned, the like getting feedback and criticism, and you mentioned that, how like the rides values were developed from talking to the community. So this is a community based process, but, I'm wondering, like, what traditions, or what things do you envision becoming traditions at the school? And like, I know you mentioned, the family gatherings on Fridays, like, so what
Yes.
what aspects like that do you see kind of developing as part of Essence Prep culture?
So really, we want to build our traditions around, yes, we're a school, yes, we're providing the service of education, but we also want to provide a sense of family. And because of that, we will be hosting family gatherings every Friday by grade level to engage the community. So, one of those great feelings growing up, I know for me and for my colleagues, are going to those family barbecues, the cookout in the backyard, and you got the music, and you have good food and good conversation and games. And it just really gives you that opportunity to let your hair down and really get to know one another and love on one another and offer that support if support is needed. And that's the tradition that we want to establish at Essence Prep during those family gatherings. Like, we really want to try to get that real good feeling, that yes, I'm loved, yes, I'm cared for, yes, these are my teachers, and yes, this may be the principal or the CEO or whoever, but at the end of the day, I know that I can go to them and talk to them about whatever my concerns may be. So that's really what we want to ground tradition in, is our family gatherings. And then also even looking at community days. How can we support our community? What does that look like? How do we get students involved in maybe be leading those community days, and planning and what that looks like? Because in everything that we do, whether it's a family gathering, whether it's a community day, whether it's a lesson in the classroom or a project, every step of the way we are still teaching something or educating our students with something, whether it's how to be social, whether it's how to collaborate, whether it's how to be a good family member, a good citizen, a good student. In everything that we do, there's that sense of excellence, and there's that sense of teaching them something that they can take with them throughout their lives.
Yeah, yeah, that's really beautiful. Well, I want to make sure. Let's see. Okay, so I had some notes for myself and things to make sure to mention that. So when the school opens in August, it's going to be
Mhm.
serving some limited grade level. The goal is to grow to K through 8, but what grade levels will y'all
Yes.
be serving in the fall? So families enrolling
Mhm.
now thinking, okay, what grade, how, what
Okay,
grade would
okay.
like to be in next year? Okay.
Yes, so opening August 15th, we will be serving kinder first and second and fourth and fifth grade. So if you have a student that is kinder first, second, fourth, or fifth, please reach out to Jennipha Burton. She's our student recruitment officer. Her email address is dburton, B-U-R-T-O-N, at essenceprepsa.org. So reach out to her. She will hook you up with anything that you need. And of course, you can always go to the website and enroll there as well.
Yeah. So, and then I think I remember, okay, so April 30th is the goal for y'all to, have collect applications and then run the lottery sometime in
Mhm.
May. But I know sometimes with newer schools, like enrollment is kind of ongoing, right? But it's like
Right.
before the lottery, it's open enrollment, and if y'all gets mixed up in the lottery after open enrollment, then it's kind of first come first serve. But for new schools, like y'all are probably still going to
Right.
be
Yeah.
collecting.
Mhm.
I know with COVID, it's hard to meet folks, but I really D'Amica came out to our event at Comanche Park last
Mhm.
weekend. And it was cold in the morning, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Right, right. Yeah. She said that she was going out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
then,
good.
of course,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
just another announcement too. Once again, teachers, if you want to teach elementary, please make sure go to the website and apply, or email me jricks at essenceprepsa.org, so that we can have a conversation, so that we can move forward. And then, if you're wondering, well, where is the school going to be? Well, just stay tuned, because the location will be coming soon. There will be an announcement. So
I'm
keep your
excited
ear to
about
the
that.
ground.
We know it's going to be on the east side, and that's about
Yes,
all we
on the
know
east
yet.
side for sure. The
Yeah,
east side. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, yeah. Well, good. Okay, I'm going to put the website up on screen one more time, essenceprepsa.org. So that's for families thinking about enrolling your students, or for
Mhm.
teachers who want to come and be a founding teacher at Essence Prep. That's how they can get more information.
Yes.
Okay. Well, great. Well, Jennipha, it's been great talking with you. I appreciate hearing your perspective as Chief Learning Officer, and these different traditions and community events that are going to get going. It sounds wonderful. So I look forward to someday coming to the ribbon cutting and things like that. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me on Charter Moms Chats. I look forward to seeing you in person sometime soon.
Yes, indeed. We will definitely make that connection.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Thank you. You too.